Good evening. It's 6 months since Phelps Correctional Center in Dequincy shut its doors for good, leaving hundreds of employees without work and forcing local families to travel further distances to see their loved ones who are incarcerated. Tonight, KPLC's Gerron checks in on a group of inmates and the former assistant warden impacted by the closure to see how they've adjusted.
On November 1st, 2012, Phelps Correctional Center shut its gates for good. The 700-plus inmates shipped to different prisons throughout the state, and the 200-plus employees forced to either take early retirement, uproot their families, or be out of a job altogether.
It was a very scary transition. It was really very heartbreaking because you left everything that was familiar to you.
You may remember Jolene Constance. She served as the assistant warden at Phelps and was forced to take an early retirement when the sudden announcement of closure was made by the Department of Corrections. But for Constance, it wasn't only her job that was slipping away, it was her sense of security and stability, as she also lived on prison grounds.
Then I had to prepare to move because at that time I was living at the prison, so I prepared to move, and I had to move by February 1.
Now a tenant in a rent house, she agreed to become a contract employee at Angola, having to commute back and forth each week. But in what she would call a hidden twist of fate, on the very day she would start that new job, a call.
January 31st, I got a phone call to not show up, that there was a holdup in the paperwork. But luckily for me, on that same day, February 1st, I got a phone call from the Cashier Parish Police Jury interested in interviewing me for a position they had.
She got the job with the police jury as a finance officer, and while the transition to computer desk and offices from jail cells took some time, she's grateful for the opportunity.
It was a whole new world, and it was a little bit scary changing careers, but I'm glad I've done it.
But it wasn't only the employees who were affected by the closure. Phelps inmates, who often served as work crews in local communities, were transported to other facilities around the state. Dequincy Mayor Lawrence Hennigan talks about the very importance of those crews to Dequincy.
We tend to depend on them because to keep things up. Otherwise, in a city of our size, you can't afford to hire enough people to replace that many hands that you got working.
That's why the city decided to keep their inmate crew. They're now housed at the city jail and continue working around the city with public upkeep and the grounds at the prison.
It gives the offenders a good opportunity to get back to the communities, out working and helping improve the communities and being out in the public seeing them doing positive things.
While the inmates know their work is appreciated, they too miss the grounds of Phelps and the many opportunities it provided.
There was a lot of privilege that we have at the prison that guys don't realize that we don't have now. I mean, like I said, we was able to participate in programs and so forth, and like I said, and even some of the staff dismissed, I have to admit.
Hennigan keeps all of that in mind as he consistently works with local, state, and national officials to keep Phelps on the forefront of agendas, knowing its significance to the city of Dequincy and to Southwest Louisiana. At your service in Dequincy, Gerron, KPLC 7 News.